the Nacho rebates that should be coming soon, and anything else you guys want to chat about. But we'll probably make this a decently quick call. I know a lot of folks are gearing up for Super Bowl parties and different type of events that they want to go to, and you might have to set up your house or get driving to a friend's or something. So we'll probably be 30, 40 minutes here today. But I think we're probably good to get going, Dan, whenever you want to grab the mic and get us
Yeah,
started.
yeah. So I wanted to first talk about this market sentiment because I know a lot of people are shaking in their boots. This is for some people their first like shakeout experience to see these market corrections. And off the rip, I like to think to myself that if you are someone that's investing in Caspa or Nacho and shooting for high price targets or realistic ones, whatever you guys think they are. For example, if you want a $1 cast, you're investing in cast and your target is one, two, or even $3, right? If you cannot stomach a move from 12 cents down to 8 or even 7, what makes you think that that conviction is going to lead you to success to get you that one, two, $3? You have to understand that in this market, this volatility, in order to ride the highs, you have to stomach the lows. The price is extremely volatile. And even last cycle, people don't talk about it. I encourage you guys to go look at charts. Go look at the time frames, look at snapshots. CoinMarketCap has this awesome feature where you can see snapshots of the market volatility, the market cap, and the prices of the top 10, top 20, or even 100 altcoins on CMC, and you could put it down to the day during 2021. You could take a look at altcoin season and everything, and I encourage everyone seriously to go look at those charts. And Bitcoin had a correction last cycle of 50%, a 50% correction on BTC. And the cycle at that point in time was far from over. So if you're going to expect 100%, 200%, 300% gains, 10x's, 20x's, you have to be able to stomach these lows. And above all, there are so many things that are bullish about CAS. There are so many things that are bullish about CAS and Nacho as well. And for one, we all know the elephant in the room, the tier ones are looming. The tier ones being Binance and OKX are looming. The community is aware of it, and it's getting so real as to the point where the creator team can discuss different things and ideas for Nacho. And we're thinking, okay, well, we can do this, but what if Binance lists that week? That was never a normal conversation back when Nacho was first created. And now it's more serious than ever that lots of market analysts, forecasters, people that have been in the game for almost a decade are saying that this is that time for Binance to launch CAS, especially with their mining pool incentive. So on top of that, obviously Marathon Digital is mining Caspa, which is huge. This is huge, huge, huge news, and people forget these things when the market turns down, when it pumps upside down, if you will. And we have 10 blocks per second, making Caspa 5 times faster than Solana on a proof of work that does not shut down. We have the IGRA network, an EVM compatible programmable layer 2 on CAS, and it's going to have a finality and support of up to 3,000 transactions per second. Completely EVM compatible, which is incredible. Incredible. That's going to make Cast a DeFi powerhouse for people that want to create on top of Caspa, and that's not even including Sparkle, which is going to come later in the year. But IGRA seems to be rolling out here in the next 2 to 3 months. And another argument that I have with people a lot, they always come to me with this whenever I'm talking about price predictions or market sentiment, where I think Cast and Notch will end up. People love to say, hey, well, this cycle is different because that last cycle there was way less coins and tokens in circulation. And I always argue my rebuttal is that in America there is millions and millions of companies that are opened up a year, businesses and companies that are opened up a year. Just because they exist does not mean they get a piece of the pie in the economy. They have to be worth it. If I have 10 apples in 10 baskets and I have 5 more baskets, those other baskets have to compete as to why those baskets are better than mine to get those apples. So the argument of, oh, well, there's more coins. I understand where you're coming from, where you think it has to be spread, but you also have to think about the fact that in 2023, there was a banking run. There was a banking run where banks had collapsed. And this was around the time, I think, April 2023. April 2023, Ethereum underwent the 2.0 upgrade, which in my opinion was a downgrade. It went from the proof of work that we all knew and loved Ethereum for, to proof of stake in promises of scalability, and we all see that that didn't necessarily play out. But at this time, I think it was Silvergate Bank collapsed. And if you guys know what the FDIC is, this is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Essentially, in all banks across America, you have 500,000 US dollars that are insured. If you lose a million, you at least will have 500K guaranteed. That's what the FDIC is, okay? And at this time, these banks ran, and not everyone had all their money. And in that time period, in that week, that same week, the Fed printed $1 trillion in 24 hours. To put that into perspective, if you spent 100 grand every day, it would take you 27,000 years to spend $1 trillion. So the argument of currency, there's too many currencies, there's not enough projects to make Caspa go to that market cap or Nacho to go to that market cap. Do your due diligence, understand the economy, understand the history of cryptocurrency, and look at previous cycles. These shakeouts and this fear is very real because there's no asset class in the world. There is no asset class in the world that will 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x your money in the amount of time crypto can. And to enjoy that euphoria, there comes a cost. And the cost is this volatility that you guys are experiencing right now. And I've seen it time and time again. I always bring up the original FUD. When the war had started in Israel and people were fearing for the Caspa team's lives and everyone was super nervous, these shakeouts do happen. These shakeouts do happen. But as long as Caspa is going to be the most scalable, fastest layer one, proof of work fully decentralized, processing parallel blocks, as long as the technology and the fundamentals are superior, there's no reason to be scared. If anything, you should be scared that you don't have enough Cas or you don't have enough Nacho. And I tell people this time and time and time again because this is a very emotional market. You see Cas go to 20 cents, and everyone's kicking themselves. Man, that 13-cent price tag doesn't look so bad anymore. And the same people are going to be kicking themselves again when Cas does break out. It does break above 20 cents, and they saw it at 7 cents and did nothing. They go, I don't want that. And you guys all know, we all know people like this. We have family, we have friends that say the same thing. I don't want this. It's already up this much. Blah blah blah. It's already at this price, and then it goes down, and no one wants to touch it. So when you see these red days, these are the biggest opportunities that you have. And if you believe in the altcoin season, if you believe that it will happen this cycle, which for me, honestly, this is going perfectly. The cycle is going organically as it should, right on time. If you believe in the altcoin season, you look at this as an opportunity. You don't look at this as a time to capitulate and look where to rotate your bags. And with the tier ones for Cas, with the tier ones pending for Nacho as well, if you know, you know. There's so much on the horizon to be bullish about that these prices right now, I am looking in my house to find different things that I could sell that are not working for me. Money that I have set aside that can change my life or the lives of the people around me with different money that's not doing anything. It could be different video game consoles, it could be a sitting laptop or a piece of jewelry. But I'm looking around to find different ways to add more money into the markets because this is an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. This is a huge, huge, huge opportunity. And this is not the first time we've seen collapses like this. The FTX collapse was brutal. Brutal. The Sam Bankman Fried, the whole scandal that went down with that was terrible. But all the people that bought BTC at 17K and at 18K earned their spot to be where they are with BTC right now at a roughly 100K. And no one talks about it. No one talks about the BTC 50% collapse. No one talks about any of that, but they'll tell you about how they love their gains. This is how they make those gains. This is what we see in the market in the cycles where people get scared, but it separates the smart money from the dumb money. It's the same technology, the same bullish catalysts. So if any of you guys are very nervous or have never seen something like this, understand that in a cycle, this is normal. In a cycle, if you're expecting to see altcoins go up 1,000% in 2 months, you have to be able to stomach a 30% dip on one day. This is how it's just an equilibrium. If you deserve, like I always say this, if you want to ride the highs, you have to stomach the lows. And this is not the time to be capitulating. You look at your nacho bag, are you at 100 mil nacho yet? Are you a cast dolphin? Was that dream of becoming a cast dolphin really far away and now it's more possible? If you believe in the technology, if you have done your research, double down on what you believe in. This is testing people's true conviction now. And we have wallet number 5 still buying 10 million Caspa every 3 days.
I just pulled it up actually, and the last transaction was for 1 CAS. It looks like some testing going
Yep,
on there.
they're definitely testing wallets. And if you go on CMC, you can see that the Binance Web3 wallet is integrated with Cas, and Trust Wallet is integrated with Cas. Binance bought Trust Wallet and they own it as well. But if you download either of these, Cas is not available yet. It's obvious what's happening. With Binance posts about block time is greater than clock time, about the trilemma, when me and Ashton went to Australia and Binance was at the Caspa booth asking them as many questions as possible, Binance has the integration on their exchange ready to list Cas. Now it's a matter of when. And no one's going to expect it. It's going to come out of nowhere. You're just going to see the Cas price action. You're going to be like, what the heck is going on? Then you're going to hop on X and see what's really happening. But if you believe, like I say, if you believe in the technology, don't seek confirmation bias from other people. So many people claim to be market gurus. They think that they're the best at what they do and they can just predict the market and stuff like that. If you are in an asset that is not pumped yet or has not made a large move, especially in crypto, because the crypto bull run works in bubbles. There might be an AI bubble where just AI does incredible. Gaming, AI agents, memes. But when it all boils down to it, like CZ said, and he couldn't have said it any freaking better. He said, if you invest in the fundamentals, time will always be on your side. And in a hot market, Buck coin may look appealing. Trump coin may look appealing. All these coins may look appealing because they instill a sense of FOMO. But in due time, the layer ones and the cryptos with the technology that's the most strong will always win. They will always win. And Caspa being built upon the fundamentals of Bitcoin, setting out to accomplish what Bitcoin has accomplished and tried to accomplish. Think about the fact that Bitcoin is $1 trillion asset and Caspa is roughly 2 billion market cap. And Bitcoin failed what it set out to do. It wanted to be a peer-to-peer payment system, but it's just too slow. It's just not scalable enough. So what happens when you take the same technological design, you make it 1,000 times faster, you complete the vision it's set out to achieve? What do you think happens when this asset is priced in at the true value it deserves? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I know this is a bit of a tangent here, but it hurts and it breaks my heart to see people capitulate, get nervous. They've never seen things like this before. This is normal, and this is an opportunity for people who don't have their bags packed enough to up their bags, increase their position, and get ready for this year that's to come. This year, altcoin season, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And it's going to look like a normal green day. It's going to look like an excellent day. You're going to see cast up. You're like, wow, it's a good day. And then it just keeps going. And then it just keeps going. And you may see another 30% correction on the way up. But if you pack your bags at these corrections, you're going to be very, very, very happy. In order to experience those gains, if you really think that Caspa can hit $2, you have to be able to stomach 8 cents. You have to be able to stomach 8 cents. CZ, for God's sake, CZ sold his house and everything he owned for BTC before he made Binance, before he made the exchange. I don't know if you guys know any history about CZ, but he's a champion. He's a champion, and he's a role model of what it is to be a cryptocurrency investor and having conviction in your assets and understanding what you're purchasing. He sold his house and everything he owned pretty much for BTC, and it dropped 50%. And the rest is history because this was over 10 years ago. Everyone called him crazy. He had no confirmation bias. Bitcoin was still relatively new. And there was no one he could turn to that was like, yeah, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Congratulations, you lost 50%. No one understands. And if you do your research, just like CZ did, like many of the Caspians do, we understand the technology. We understand the team, where they come from. Are they tried and true? Are they tested? It's about your conviction and understanding what you hold. People are going to tell you this is a dead coin. This is down. This is this. And then all of a sudden, when the coin goes up, everyone acts like they knew it was the best thing. The best thing you can do is trust yourself. And like I said, with the catalyst coming for Cass, with the catalyst coming for Nacho, this is not something that you're going to want to miss out on. And when it's time for Caspa to shine, it shines. And all my Caspa OGs know when Caspa moves, it moves on its own. It has its own spotlight. Caspa, I always call it the number one Caspa marketing tactic. The whole market will be red, and then Caspa goes up 40%. And the advertising isn't paid. It isn't inorganic or anything like that. They're not paying shillers. The advertisement is the technology and its price movement. Because Caspa does its own thing. People saying that the Cas bull run is over. Gentlemen, it's February. Ladies and gents, it's February. We're not even scraping halfway through quarter one of 2025. And BTC broke all-time high the same year as the halving, which has never been done in a cycle before. This is a different monster that we're dealing with, and I encourage everyone to look at charts. When you're nervous, write down on a Google document or a piece of paper, why am I so bullish on Cass? Why is Cass so incredible? Why is Nacho doing so well? Where do I think Nacho will get? Reassure yourself and reaffirm these things and write down a thesis. This is what the best investors do. They write down a thesis as to why this investment they feel is so sound and why they think it's worth something. And as time progresses, if any of those bullet points in your thesis statement change, then you can look at about, maybe reallocating or reassessing your investment, right? So I encourage people to truly understand what you hold and take these opportunities because one day you're going to think about cats at 8 cents, and it's going to be history. Just like the 1 cent and 2 cent mark. And everyone was calling for a crash down to half a penny. It never happened. All right, that's enough of my that's enough of my rant, Ashton. But you can go on with what you wanted. But I just see
Dude,
so much fear.
it's such good advice because I mean the entire dynamic of investing and looking at charts moving and everything is so counterproductive. All of us just have ingrained in us to celebrate the green. And it's like, oh, it's green, it's going up, so I got to get in before it goes up too high. You're already late at that point. You're already late. If you're not welcoming red as a buying opportunity, you're just not thinking about it the right way, in my personal opinion.
Exactly, exactly. And there's so many bullish catalysts. Dude, a layer one 5 times faster than Solana with smart contracts that doesn't shut off. That is fair launch with no VCs and proof of work. That is the
I mean,
pinnacle of what cryptocurrency was supposed to be. How could you sell it for less than a dime?
there's a reason Nacho exists on Cas and not on Solana. And as much
Well,
as we love Shy and the real Nacho, that's not the reason.
well said. Absolutely well said.
So while we got this little break here, if everyone could just go up into the top right if you're on PC, or I think bottom right if you're on mobile, but hit the little share button, share the space so we can get the rest of Nacho Nation in here before the big day. So what are you doing, Dan? You're in Romania, Super Bowl Sunday. You guys doing anything? Does the local family in Romania care, or are you guys like, no, 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 I left that behind in
No,
America?
nope. Left that behind in America.
All right, good deal. Well, I've got daughters exclusively at my house, so we'll be watching mainly for the halftime show over here, but I'll be paying attention to the rest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? Germany care at all? Okay, well that about sums it up, huh?
Yep, there you go. Germany does not care.
Germany does not
Thank you
care.
for the answer, Chris.
All right, cool. But yeah, generally in terms of what Dan said, I mean, price is it is what it is, right? I mean, when I look at wallet number 5 and the accumulation at the whale level, the smart money level, and honestly, I see it on Nacho just as well. I mean, we were acquiring some Nacho this morning because we've got a need for it in the very near term future to be able to hand over to an exchange for listing. And we saw it. I mean, what CoinEx just continues acquiring. It goes down, they add 2 billion, 3 billion more. I mean, I think they hold like 20 billion Nacho tokens at this point. It is wild. So if you are buying, if you are interested, no pressure, don't have to, no financial advice. But if you decide to, go buy from CoinEx and withdraw. Let's get it out of their hands. But otherwise, NFT stuff, we haven't really talked publicly or as a group since that first launch day. I'd love to hear from folks about how it's going on your side, what you think about it. I can give you a little bit of outline of what we've discussed as a team. Is that we do plan on allowing the mint to play out for at least 14 days from the launch, which puts us at basically Valentine's Day, February 14th. So coming up, we got about 5 days just to see kind of how that plays out. At this point, I kind of expect to be pretty close to right around 50%, something like that. And we've created some good kind of backup plans with the contributors in Discord and that channel, and generally on the creator team on kind of other options we can pull to finish out that mint or possibly to allow it to continue. So this is an important topic for this call to get your voice heard and your opinion out here so that we can pay attention to it and care about these things as we figure out how this plays out. But generally, it's been a very, very positive experience, despite the KRC 20 or KRC 721, sorry, kind of hiccups as we got launched, we're starting to see a lot more momentum build. And this was kind of similar with KRC20, right? We had the launch in June. We were kind of almost alone in that launch. I mean, Goad was there and a number of other projects that some still kind of around big and some not so much. But generally, it was kind of cut off at the knees right away. And then we waited 2 months, 2.5 months really to finish that process, and we finished it with flying colors. So I think there's a certain level of kind of patience and understanding we have to have when we compare NFTs and 721 to KRC20, simply because we had that kind of compressed spring of a lot more time to continue marketing, continue pushing before that mint continued. So we're not trying to sell you on any specific path forward or anything like that, but get up here and share your thoughts. Tell us what you think about your NFT, if you like it, you don't like it, if there's ideas you have around mint stuff. While people are coming up and requesting, I can say that our giveaway is still ongoing, and this is really significant. So I think there's 5 or 6 tiers left in the mint process, but in aggregate, I mean, this giveaway is up to 120 grand. I see one person in the audience here that already won the first step, and he was lucky enough to have all 9 realms. So he doubled up his prize on the very first one that we gave away. That one ended up being 2 NFTs for him, but nonetheless, there's a huge opportunity here, and we're probably, I don't know, what are we, Chris, like 6-7% away from that next big level?
Yeah, we are right about 7% right now away from like, yeah, 10K or up to 20K if you got all 9 realms. Yeah,
Huge, huge. That
definitely.
yeah, I mean 20K covers most of that 7% in and of itself. It's interesting how that
I
kind
would
of
take it. I
that
would
game
take
theory plays out. All right, go for it.
it.
So yeah, would love to hear from you guys on questions or thoughts or ideas that you have. If you can't chat because you're already at your Super Bowl party, that's totally fine.
You're gonna hear loud screaming in the background.
Yeah.
And if you're too shy, you can also just write in the Discord.
Yeah, and if you're rooting for the Chiefs, you're more than welcome to stay in the audience.
Wow. Wow.
Just a joke, guys. Just a joke. I'm not an Eagles fan myself. I'm actually a Raider fan, which means that I never get to be excited about the Super Bowl. I'm still holding on to that 90s information where they had the best record in sports, but that was 30 years ago. So, you know, Goonboy loves it. Nice. Raider fan.
Good point. Yeah, someone come up and speak, whether it's about my spiel, about the markets and the sentiment, or words of encouragement, experiences that you guys have that can motivate other people, or even the questions that Ashton mentioned, please.
Yeah, and if you don't have them, then we can just keep rocking and rolling in Discord, talk about it as we go. The other topic that's really important is cat pool. We're gaining steam really well. So we actually fixed a massive bug that was plaguing us with like restarts of the pool every day or two for the last, like, I don't know, week and a half or so. We finished it a few days ago. We restarted, implemented it, and the pool's been stable since. We had one small kind of visual hiccup on the dashboard this morning, but it fixed itself by the time I woke up. So all I really saw was some log data that helped a little bit, and then some feedback in the pool channel that folks had seen zero hash rate for a little bit. But it seems like a non-issue at this point from log reviews. And we're about 60% of the way done. I'm estimating right around there, but I think about 60% done with the Nacho rebate piece. So we are trying extremely hard to get this out this week. And I think it's very likely that we see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that this week as the pool fees actually turning on and the Nacho rebates starting to get paid. So we made the official decision to integrate and partner with Not Meme, the Change Finance rebranding, for the Nacho rebates. Now, that being said, they aren't going to be the permanent partner for KRC20 payouts. These are two different things that kind of feel very similar in the pool. We've got the pool fee rebates where everyone is just getting Nacho tokens for mining to cat pool. And this will stay with Change Finance and that integration. It makes it really straightforward, really quick to be able to pay those out, and very easy to integrate. But the larger opportunity we have is actually allowing miners to receive rewards in any token they want. And initially, we thought this was going to be only KRC20 tokens. So you mine Caspa, your daily rewards, just for an example, are 100 CAS. You decide to turn that into, a million Nacho or whatever that transition is, and we pay that out to you. So we were expecting to do this exclusively in KRC20 tokens. And what I'm really excited to share with you guys is that it's not limited to KRC20. And as a matter of fact, it's not limited to CASPA assets at all. The payment provider partner that we're integrating and creating a really strong long-term partnership with is going to allow payouts in any asset, any crypto asset, and maybe even a fiat asset if people choose. So it's going to be one of the first pools in the world that actually has the opportunity to do this, because the only real alternative we have that creates this opportunity is either unminable, which is very limited. They must individually list each asset that they want to allow payouts in. So it gets really slow, messy. It's almost like seeing a new centralized exchange list assets, right? It's a very slow process. You've got to raid their X and get them to care about that asset so you can get paid out on unminable. The other alternative we have is NiceHash, where you actually just rent your hash rate to NiceHash, and you can get paid out in Bitcoin or USDT, or I think even fiat if you want to. But again, you're not actually mining. There's pretty significant fees. It's not an open source solution, so there's a lot of less than ideals in NiceHash and unminable. And what we're creating with Catpool is actually a long-time, well-known, really strong, well-backed payment provider partner that is extremely well-known in this space. Like, people will be very, very excited to hear that name. And it's going to allow
Yes.
payout in any of these assets. I mean, you want to mine CAS and get paid in Bitcoin. You want to mine CAS and get paid in Doge or Shiba Inu or US dollars. I think it's all going to be possible. So this is likely a 1 month to 6 week integration timeframe. So we're a little bit out from that piece, but the Nacho rebates this week are going to be the first step to really making Catpool, I think, one of the most attractive mining opportunities to miners globally. So long-winded, but hopefully helpful.
That's super bullish, man. And that partnership that we're talking about is incredible. Oh, Crypto Pumps is up. Welcome, brother. It says you can speak, Pumps.
Yeah, that partnership is like second to none, man. And it's so humbling and exciting that they reached out to us. They're like, hey, we see what you're doing with Catpool. We see the excitement around it. We want to be a part of it. And we're like, you guys are really big. Are you sure? Do you know who you're talking to? Like,
Is this
we're just
real?
Nacho. We're
Yeah, is this real?
we're not Doge. We're Nacho. I don't know if maybe you clicked the wrong button.
They didn't.
They didn't.
And
They
I'm
confirmed.
sure the people would love to know, but not yet.
So
Not
close.
yet.
Couple
So
weeks.
close.
But we
Damn
are
it.
actually this brings up a really good topic, and sorry, Pumps, for jumping on your stage time here. We'll get to you in just a second, but this brings up a good opportunity to talk about what we're doing as a community on the legal and regulatory side. This type of partnership, this type of setup on Catpool, and frankly running a mining pool in general at the size we are now, or really how quickly we're growing, um, it's a regulatory risk. It's something that you have to care for very, very carefully. So we spent a good deal of time over this last week talking to a few different lawyer partners and advisors, and just getting some more information on, hey, how can we make sure this is rock solid and never going to have any issue. And we found a really, really clean, easy solution. And it does require actually setting up a legal entity for Catpool, a business of sorts, right? So we're going down that road now. And that's really the first hurdle in setting up this Catpool partnership. Is they're like, hey, we need you to get, an industrial account, and we need you to make sure that, you've got all your I's dotted, T's crossed, so that we can actually pay out people in whatever asset they want or fiat currency, and still be compliant with regulatory requirements, money transmission licenses, things like this. So we're going down that road very, very quickly, and it's it's not difficult. It's not a terribly hard thing to accomplish. We've navigated a few of these different policies globally and found the jurisdiction that we need to, and I think we're likely just maybe 7 to 10 days away from wrapping up that process. So things on that front are moving very quickly, and it gives a solid sense of legitimacy to some of the things that we're doing, and is kind of a springboard, if you will, to allowing us to do more. So we're also in the background, now that we've looked at these entities and talked to a couple different legal partners, we've started considering things like, hey, how hard would it be to make a DEX for smart contracts? What are the difficulties that we're going to run into there? So we can't promise that's the path forward just yet. And of course, we all need to talk about it, make sure you guys are on board, approve these type of things. But there's a lot of potential that just wasn't there 2 months ago. And it's there because we've taken the time to navigate these kind of difficult scenarios and make sure that everything's set up proper. So hopefully helpful info, but a lot moves quickly, I think, over the next 4 to 6 weeks with Catpool. And the first step really is turning on the mining pool fees and getting people their Nacho rebates, which will be exciting this week. So Crypto Pumps, how are you, man? You're on stage.
Pumps.
We can't hear you. I see you as muted. I don't know if you're trying to talk or not.
Hey Ashton, sorry, I didn't request to speak on purpose. I'm very happy to listen. Sorry about that. I seem to do that a lot.
All good, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thanks, Pumps.
So what else we got, guys?
We have one question in the Discord, Ashton.
What is it?
Let me go back and double check it. I love my Nacho NFTs and the idea of the realms. I'm so excited for all the fun to come. Is there a way to export your transaction history onto Excel? I want to see everything at once and it doesn't print cleanly? Question mark.
Export NFT transaction history to Excel?
Yeah.
I
think they're just talking about documenting buys and
The
stuff.
what?
I think they're just talking about documenting buys and writing down every time they buy or transfer and stuff like that themselves. I think.
Yeah, marketplace buys. I imagine you're talking about KSPR bot. They do have an endpoint in their documentation, but it wouldn't go to an Excel. It would just output like a JSON file response to an API call. So that may be hard. I'm not sure if there is one right now, but I just wrote it down on my notes because since they have an API call, it may not be hard to do that. And we're working on CAT-scan pretty heavily right now. And actually, I should have talked about this earlier, but CAT-scan, we've brought on 2 new developers that are going to help. Obviously, community volunteer stuff, everything we've always done, but I spent a good deal of time interviewing some people and talking to some folks, kind of recruiting, twisting some arms last week, and it worked really well. So we've rebuilt almost everything on the back end for CAT-scan, and that includes all of the NFT stuff. And in terms of performance, I mean, it's a huge increase because we're not relying on all the data being stored in IPFS like it is now. This is how the KRC scan Explorer from KSPR works, and how our original testnet one did. And now they're all stored in the back end where everything is easily accessible, and we can get really, really quick API call responses. So they're essentially CAT-scan's moving forward really quickly, and the step on Monday is essentially to finish rebuilding the front end piece so that we can give that giant facelift to the actual Explorer that's been around for a while, and have the NFT piece there too. So we'll make some announcements about that, but that transition will essentially take the rarity viewer that you see we've built and combine it into the NFT Explorer. So there's just a single solution there. So that should be sometime this week as well. So again, likely probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday timeframe. But reason I bring that up is we can add this to the list because it should be very, very simple to create the functionality you want to be able to export those marketplace transactions. And kind of thinking about it just off the cuff, I think it makes the most sense to add it to the wallet address page where you would search your address to see your NFT collection. and then there could just be a button up in the corner that says export transfers, export marketplace transactions, and then we could build that out pretty easily. So long-winded again, but yeah, no, I don't know of one yet, but we can add it probably pretty quick. Do you have any others in Discord, Dan?
Double checking now. Frog answered one about mining with block rewards being upgraded to 10 times higher. He was saying essentially he thinks that pool mining has been validated because the average guy can hit 10 times more blocks. And Frog was saying everyone gets a chance at 10 times more blocks. Nothing changes between luck at solo mining and luck at pool mining.
I think this, someone's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, because I am going out on a ledge saying this in a public space right here without fully confirming it, but I'm 99% sure that the rewards and the emission schedule for Caspa is per second, not exactly per block. So I don't think that the economics of mining changes at all as we look at 10 blocks per second. It's certainly not that the emission schedule is going to accelerate 10x faster than what we see now on that graph. That's 100% inaccurate. And based on my knowledge, that means that it would not change your economics of mining in any capacity. Because if it did, if we saw 10x rewards coming 10x faster, we would see a 10x accelerated emission schedule, which most definitely will not happen. So I think that that's a misunderstanding from that individual.
Yep, I agree. Not sure about the second or block, but I don't think it's gonna shake up anything up like that too much, in my opinion.
It just doesn't. It wouldn't
Especially
make sense. It would require the
would-
emission schedule to accelerate, and that would defeat much of the purpose of that emission schedule setup. So.
Yep.
There is a comment or question from Banana, which is kind of funny in the in the X Space comments. He says, Archon Mining, we want to know about your paid actor. How's that experience going for you? I don't know if you guys saw this on CMC, but I got a kick out of it. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, it's FUD and it sucks that people spend their time posting this, but it was a little funny. The comment, I got to paraphrase it because I don't remember it perfectly, but he basically said, Nacho is tied to the North Korean government and the Israeli government, and Ashton is an actor that gets paid $100 a day as the front man, which was so funny. I was like, I would love $100 a day. I don't think I'd accept it from North Korean government, but I do.
Why so cheap? It's way too cheap, right?
Yeah, sure. It's funny.
I mean,
It's funny that
1,000
it's
per
that
day,
number too,
maybe.
because I remember being 20 and my first daughter had just been born, and I used to do math like this in my head when I had my sales job because I was all commission based and say, all right, all I need to do is make $100 a day in commission every day I work, and we'll never have a problem. We'll never. So it was always that was always like my mental marker of like I need like $100 a day in my job when I was a lot younger. So. It's funny
So
he
maybe
says that.
that was your boss. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, I didn't tell anyone that was my goal. That was just me and my little commission Excel sheet, trying to finagle it.
It was hilarious.
It was funny. It was funny. So yeah, Banana, it's going quite well. But the paid side has not come to fruition yet. I'm just acting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm Korean as well.
That's funny. He asked you why you're so sensitive. The answer is he's a Pisces, Banana.
Wow, exposed me. No, I just feel for the people, man. I feel for the people in this current market sentiment making life-changing mistakes. Mistakes that will never forgive themselves for, and it pains me like it's my own losses. I see people making these mistakes, and it's unfortunate, but not everyone's meant to experience the journey that is crypto and rise to the top. It just sucks because you want to save everyone you can. You want everyone to see it through and make the right decision, but you can't save them all, and it's a shitty feeling.
You're literally one of those that's trying to save them all too. This guy is at the Christmas and Thanksgiving table just shilling Caspa like there's no tomorrow.
For real, dude. For real.
There is one other question on here from a guy from the Blocks team, Crypto Chaos, Justin. He says, is there a machine that will not mine on Catpool? Yeah, there is one right now, the KS2 Lite. And I don't even know entirely what to tell you, because I've talked to 3 other pools and they basically say they have no difference or issue with KS2 Lite at all. It's exactly the same. It's a non-issue. I don't even know why you're asking me that question, is their attitude. And ours just reconnects. It just consistently tries to reconnect. We're not telling the miner that it's properly connected to keep its connection alive. So it tries to restart it, and it consistently messes that up. So that is the only miner that doesn't work. The entire Bitmain line works, the entire Gold Shell line works, and essentially the entire Ice River line works. And honestly, even the important ones, right? I think KS5Ls are really important right now. I think people who bought early KS 3Ls or 3Ms, they obviously have a lot of money invested, and they want to see those continue working. And then we've got our mass majority of our community members are KS zeros or pros or ultras, whatever they are, right? So I mean, we're over 400 terahash last time I looked this morning. So things are going quite well, but that KS2 Lite is definitely a stickler. So we're working on that. I've got actually a third party helping on it as well, because we wanted to go outside of just our skill set and see if we could get that issue solved a little bit faster. So I have a call with them tomorrow, and I'll have a good update from what they've found. So hopefully we've got a quick fix for that tomorrow. There's one other question here. Obi-Wan says, with the pool, I mine straight to Tangent, so I need to send an NFT to that wallet. Yes, you can definitely do that if you feel comfortable doing that. You could also just change your wallet over to a KSPR wallet and then move your funds once a week, once every other day. That way your NFT doesn't get stuck. But you can also get this same value from holding 100 million Nacho tokens. So if you've already got 100 mil tokens, then send those to Tangem so you qualify rather than the NFT. Then you still have access to moving those, since they support KRC20 and you don't have anything locked away for potentially forever. But yeah, you can definitely send one. It'll work, and it'll work for the cat pool discount. It just will be stuck there potentially forever.
Oh God.
It's just like the early Nacho days, you know. It's like if you don't have a
Yep.
seed phrase on your Tangem, and Tangem never supports KRC 721, it's stuck. It's never going to move. So what else we got, guys? Anyone have fun Super Bowl
I'm not.
plans they want to talk about?
They're probably having the plans
I know,
right now. It's probably right now. I'm not seeing anything on the X. I'm not seeing anything on the Discord. I know I have to get to bed early and get some things done. I hope my words of encouragement were able to inspire some people, because I know a lot of people are getting very nervous. And this is stuff that's completely normal, ladies and gentlemen. This is how crypto works. BTC is the ultimate cryptocurrency and has seen FUD and red days that would make you need 3 pairs of pants. It's incredible. And this little correction to 8 cents, it's not much.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it bounced back quickly off of that lower level of the channel too, which is good. And Nacho has some solid price movement today. We did buy a little bit ourselves this morning too, but nonetheless, it's just as organic, right? There is no team holdings or anything here. So Pygos is coming up.
We got Pygos. Yep, Pygos. The OG. What's up, Pygos?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Welcome.
we can hear you.
Yep.
And congrats again on that NFT, man. Every time I see your PFP, I'm like, geez, that must be, aside from maybe the wizard one, just because I'm biased, that's got to be one of the coolest ones out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was my goal to get one that faced to the left. I got one very early, but then, you know, the whole KRC20 thing or KRC 721 mess up, and everyone got different NFTs again.
Yeah.
I had the one that Jack had originally, but then all of my NFTs just changed. I was like, oh shit. So I went minting like crazy. Minted over 140. I think we got it at 119. So guys, yeah, I mean that's just how NFT games work, right? So the way you play them is you have to mint at least. I mean, this is what any bigger minter would tell you, you need to mint at least like 100 of them if you want to get like a unique, because that's only 1%. Um, and it's a percentage game. So you still need to be a bit lucky, but in those 100 mints, or well, I did 140, you will get a lot of good ranking ones too. Like I have a bunch that are under rank 100 and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it in the end. But it's obviously a little bit, I don't know, scary. Every time you click, you're like, ah, did I get one? Nope. I mean, you get a lot of bad ones too, right? Well, we call them floor ones, and obviously, when Nacho finally will go up, like the NFTs, 5x, 10x, I'll start slowly selling. Because who needs 140 NFTs? It's kind of like kind of silly number. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, it's huge. Absolutely. But no, you're right, man. It is a percentage game, and it's not that different than buying baseball cards or Pokemon cards or any of these other things. Most of the time, you lose.
Yeah, and I mean with Pokemon cards and stuff like that, and Magic cards and whatnot, your chance is way lower, right? Because I mean, let's be honest, how many are there?
Well, for sure. Yeah, you're in a pool of 100,000 or something like that instead
Or a
of 10.
million, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 10,000 is not that bad. So, that's just something I see in the Discord as well. It's like people get like very scared, right now, because the market's going down, and I get it. But the last thing you want to do is swap out for USDT for stables. If you want to swap, I mean, it's good actually that you look at your portfolio. If you're too heavy in one ecosystem, you know, if you do think you are too heavy in one thing, for example, I was way too heavy in Caspa. Um, not just Caspa, because what I consider Caspa is like not just Caspa, it's also Nacho, Kango, the NFTs, the whole ecosystem, right? And if you see that you're like 90% in or something, I mean, you might want to swap to a different crypto, not USDT. Um, because I think the whole market will obviously still bounce. You obviously have to look at the projects that you do go in, make sure there's volume and stuff. For example, me and Chris, we talked like a couple days ago, and shout out to Chris because Chris told me. So Coinbase recently told everyone that they're looking to list a few tokens, and one of them was Popcat, right? The real Popcat, not the KRC one. So I was like looking at obviously the Popcat to cash chart, right? You don't look Popcat USDT, and you type in Popcat USDT / cash USDT on TradingView, and you can see it was way at the bottom. So I was like, okay, I'll swap some cash, and I mean the next day it was up like 40%, you know, because people just didn't react because it was a bearish time. But obviously Coinbase is bullish, right? If Coinbase tells you like you're being put on the roadmap, I mean, sooner or later that will pump. So yeah, and really big whales saw it because later on I saw like alerts going off that I don't know millions were being bought. So you know, just things like that. It is smart to reconsider your portfolio um, at times like this. Just see which is stronger than the other. But in order to do this, you need to have a little bit of charting knowledge. Not that much. Just know like if something's very low, um, the chance of it going up, and if there's good volume in it, once again, there needs to be liquidity, you know, and it needs to be volume. People need to be trading it, but you have a good chance it will start outperforming against the other asset. So it's not bad to rebalance your portfolio. These days are good to rebalance your portfolio.
How do you feel about the current sentiment with CAS and everything, Pygos?
Also, I talked to Chris about that. So what Shy came out with a couple days ago, I think is not something he should have ever done. That tweet where he said like he's looking for to get paid, people to pay him, etc. I think it's kind of stupid, especially like as a developer of such a big project. Or I don't know what his role is exactly, but he's one of the key people. Like you always see him and Jonathan, right? So it's either him or Jonathan that you really see. as the spokespeople. So when people think Casper, and if they just know a little bit about Casper, they know about Jonathan Sompolinski and Shai. So for Shai saying that on Twitter, people thought it was bad with the political shit. I didn't care. That's like his own. But to speak about his payments, I mean, yeah, that pissed me off. And I'm sure it pissed a lot of people off because that has to do directly with the project, right? Saying like, hey man, I'm not getting enough money here. I need to get paid. But that also entails it's kind of important because this means, and we all know this, that the Casper people have less Casper than the whales that believed in them early. This is kind of crazy to me because if it's your own project, don't you want to buy your own project? I mean, as someone with my friend who run Koku, by the way, anyone who supports that, I love you guys. But don't put KRC20 tag in that, please. I mean, I get DMs saying like, well, we get it on that account, like so you guys are KRC20. We can't find your KRC20, or like, who are you guys? We are not a KRC20 guys. We're on Ronin, #1 meme coin, so it's different, right? But yeah, if you have your own project, you believe in that, right? You buy your own project. I bought the shit out of my own project. I think that's normal. So it tells me they didn't do that. I think Shai once said he only has like 3 million CAS or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Yep, something
I
like
think
that.
that's right. The other part of that post though that's interesting is that they haven't really bought at all. It's because it's proof of work in mining. I'm pretty sure Shy mined that entire bag. So it's kind of it is interesting. I see what you're saying for sure, and I definitely agree with you, Pygus. Like, I mean, we're doing the same thing with Nacho, right? Buy as much as we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting with the mining side of it because they were mining so early that I think almost his entire bag was mined.
And that's fine, but like, so when it just came on Maxi, when Redonder, big shout out to Redonder, like without him, Casper wouldn't be where it is at all today, right? I don't know if you guys know that, but that guy has paid single-handedly for Maxi listing for Casper back in the day. I think he gave them like 30 million CAS or something like that, something silly, in order for them to list. So, and obviously nowadays he's not in Caspa anymore because he sold his CAS and he went into Alevium, which was a smart play because Alevium was way lower. That's what whales do, right? They rotate. But either way, he made CAS go onto Maxi. And when it was on Maxi is when I bought, because I mean, Redondo used to be part of Lumi, and he kind of told us. So yeah, I mean, I bought CAS like at like 0.028 or something. You could buy 1 million for like little over $5,000. I don't know why they didn't buy more themselves.
Yeah, I guess we never will. Yeah, the Shy post was interesting for sure, and there is a comment in this X space too that's asking, and I imagine it's around the same topic. Crypto Chimp says, "Is Deshi Shy following, commenting on our post still?" Definitely still following us. We haven't noticed any difference there, but he's always been kind of sporadic on posts and naturally. So I think it's not like he's on every single post that we make or anything like that. But he definitely still interacts. What was it, Chris? Like maybe a week ago, we saw a Nacho specific post from him.
Yeah, right. I
Like
guess
that.
like 2 days after his legendary post.
The poll.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I was super thrilled to see it, but so many dynamics with a complete community-run project that is 100%, owned by the people. That it is a little bit different too. So I don't know. I think we
It
try
is,
to.
but to ask for money, I don't know, man.
Yeah, for sure. We just I think as our project we continue, keeping the fair distance that we've always had, that respectful distance from Cheyenne, not pressuring him to be included or rating his posts too often or anything. And when we
Yeah.
see Nacho stuff, we go for it. But Cass is strong and fundamentals speak. So I regardless of how we all feel about the post
As
itself,
long
I don't.
as
Yeah.
as long as it gets listed, and I know, so there's one thing as well about Binance, right? So Binance in 2021 would mean a token would go up 10 to 20x, maybe even more. Nowadays, if you look at the Binance listing, because I've looked at all the recent ones, and you just look at it, it goes up maybe 50 to 150% on average, right? I mean, there are exceptions where some go like 400, 600%. Very few, though. Very, very few. So, yeah, all you can really expect from a Binance listing right now is like about 100%, which wouldn't, I mean, you put cash basically back to the highs. Nothing crazy. That's if they were to list it now. I think they would list it when Kaz is actually doing well.
Yeah.
To give it that last pump up. But just know that Binance is not like it used to be, guys. Like I don't, because people are like, oh yeah, Binance, and that's true. But just look at, and if Binance cannot do it, no one can, right? Because I mean, look at any other exchange and it pumps less, so it's even less than 100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
I kind of expect an organic run back to closer to highs before that listing. It seems like
yeah.
they would list in the 15 to 20 cent range, and we'd end up seeing 35 to 45 range on their pump. Seems realistic.
Well, so what I actually think, and like I talked to Chris as well, is basically when it hits about 20 cents, I think OKX will probably list, get us to 40 to maybe 50 cents. Then Binance lists, get it to $1, and that's the end of the bull run. Then cash will retrace back to like 20 or whatever. I think that's more than likely.
Interesting.
I don't think anyone's upset about that.
Yeah.
Dollar cash.
Yeah.
But well, some people will, because I hear $5, $10.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I meant realistic people. My bad.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, cool. That's good insight, Pygus, and thanks. And yeah, you guys continue to kill it over there, man. I keep checking in like once every day or
Something
two,
big
and
is coming.
Yeah, it's going well.
So it's something
Pretty cool.
really big is coming. So
Well,
like
tell
I
us.
say,
Drop the alpha
no,
here.
I can't say.
Stop it now.
Don't do Web3 Poker Club tournaments if you don't want to be pressured for alpha, because I'll tell you right now, those guys, they don't let up.
Nah, we wouldn't do that.
And I will comment less with Nacho under Coco's posts.
Well, oh, you did that? No, I think.
Yeah. I mean the
no,
one with the Nacho account, right? Not other.
Oh no,
not other
that's
people.
fine. No, so I saw. I don't want to say the name or whatever. Banana. He reposted us, but he puts hashtag KRC20 and then $sign Koku. I'm like, yo.
That's banana.
That's a true banana
funny.
move.
It's funny, but yeah, people are like, wait, you guys KRC20? Like, nah.
Cross chain. Multiple chains.
Well, very good.
I mean, once you go on exchange, you're not really chain bound anyways, right? So
yeah, exactly. Back to almost fiat at that point.
Yeah.
Fake numbers in a spreadsheet.
$100, right?
Exactly.
I want you to set up a meeting for me, Ashton, with Kim Jong-un.
Oh God, Jesus. We can't let that one get too far. That's rough.
Ashton, I can ask the creators if they can prepare some image.
Don't do
No.
that.
Yeah, we should have had an NFT with Nacho and Kim Jong-un.
Oh yeah. Someone said like
The one out of
is
one.
it possible when you that we can do an add-on to the NFTs so they can have different characters, so they can have different masks or whatever. So for 20 bucks, for 20 bucks an NFT or whatever.
That's funny. I don't think. I mean, maybe that stuff's possible when it transitions to smart contracts in a few months, but not right now at all. I don't even know how we'd continue or how we'd talk about it. But the joke thing is funny to a certain degree until we find ourselves on a sanction list because we joked
Yeah.
too hard.
Yeah, it's true.
Until we're all getting interrogated.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
the
what else?
location for the birthday party is now set, right? It must be North Korea.
Oh God. No one should have told Chris about this info. We're doomed.
For real. We're fucked.
So what else we got? Any other questions for today? Anything in Discord, Dan?
Checking now. Let's see. No, I do not see anything. Besides Banana asking about sneak peeks with exchange listings.
Not gonna happen. I gave you the puzzle, guys. I gave you the puzzle. Happy puzzling.
For real.
I didn't see.
Chris was
I
being
didn't see the
generous.
puzzle. Where's the puzzle?
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Oh.
Please don't check.
Just gives it away. Would you do like Hangman
I
with 4
No,
of the
no.
6 letters already placed?
So, kind of.
See if anyone picks up on that. All right. Well, sounds like we're wrapping up. I don't see anything in X either. In comments.
Yeah, I think it's clear.
Adonis is skipping the Super Bowl this year. Refs. He says refs versus the Eagles, I guess is what that emoji means.
Rigged.
All right. Well, everyone enjoy the day. Be safe if you're driving and going anywhere after your parties. Be smart. You want to be here to see the green nacho days. Don't ruin it.
Yep, and to enjoy those green days, you must understand to love the red ones.
Great way to end out. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday.
See you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.